the wilderness within you. 22nd day of Lent, the Wednesday of week 4. We got several Bible readings today. Here's the first one from Jeremiah 25, verses 8 to 12, and I'm reading from the Revised Standard Version of the Bible. Therefore thus says the Lord of hosts, because you have not obeyed my words, behold, I will send for all the tribes of the north, says the Lord, and for Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, my servant, and I will bring them against this land and its inhabitants, and against all these nations round about. I will utterly destroy them, and make them a horror, a hissing, and an everlasting reproach. Moreover, I will banish from them the voice of mirth and the voice of gladness, the voice of the bridegroom and the voice of the bride, the grinding of the millstones and the light of the lamp. This whole land shall become a ruin and a waste, and these nations shall serve the king of Babylon 70 years. Then after 70 years are completed, I will punish the king of Babylon and their nation, the land of the Chaldeans, for their iniquity, says the Lord, making the land an everlasting waste. From the book of Genesis, the 3rd chapter, verses 17 to 18, the Revised Standard Version. God curses Adam. Cursed is the ground because of you. In toil you shall eat of it all the days of your life. Thorns and thistles it shall bring forth to you. From the book of Exodus, chapter 3, verses 7 to 8, RSV. Then the Lord said, I have seen the affliction of my people who are in Egypt, and have heard their cry because of their taskmasters. I know their sufferings, and I have come down to deliver them out of the hand of the Egyptians, and to bring them up out of that land into a good and broad land, a land flowing with milk and honey. From Isaiah, chapter 5, verse 8. Again, RSV. Woe to those who join house to house, who add field to field, until there's no more room, and you are made to dwell alone in the midst of the land. And from Deuteronomy, chapter 24, verses 19 to 21, again RSV. When you reap your harvest in your field, and have forgotten a sheaf in the field, you shall not go back to get it. It shall be for the sojourners, the fatherless, and the widow, that the Lord your God may bless you in all the work of your hands. When you beat your olive trees, you shall not go over the boughs again. It shall be for the sojourners, the fatherless, and the widow. When you gather the grapes of your vineyard, you shall not glean it afterward. It shall be for the sojourners, the fatherless, and the widow. When I was a child, I thought the wilderness must be seriously horrible, a nasty, grim, dangerous, hostile place that any sane person would avoid. John the Baptist sounded scary, and when you went into the wilderness, who should you meet but the devil himself? I got the impression the wilderness must be one short remove from hell. It took me by surprise when I began to read about green issues to find that we actually need the wilderness, that our life depends on it. The rainforests, the cloud forests, the Arctic ice cap, the wetlands. The Bible makes wilderness sound dreadful, but it's really good, isn't it? Jesus smiles. Well, it's to do with balance, the rhythm of going out and returning home, like breathing in and breathing out, like the ebb tide and the flow tide. And it's about point of view. The word wilderness is itself a point of view. To the monkey, the tiger, the eagle, the snake, wilderness isn't wilderness, it's home. To them, wilderness is the cage with only a picture of trees and rocks, the concrete enclosure with a pool of tap water and a painting of the sky. In the forest or the craggy mountains, where stranded humans feel so afraid and alone, the wild creatures know their freedom and are content. But even humans love the wild places that have been left in peace. So the balance is what? Taking some and leaving some? I pick up a pine cone fallen in the grass around the bench where we are sitting at the side of the path, and turn it over in my hands, looking at its structure and colour. The balance, he says, is that people need to cultivate the land, to farm crops and animals, to build homes and hospitals, marketplaces, shops and places of worship, roads and playgrounds, everything that makes up civilization. But at the same time, blessing flows from taking only what they need, from living humbly and simply and keeping close to the earth. Consumerism, growth economics, they are not sustainable, which is another way of saying they do not belong to blessing. Something not sustainable is tending toward death. Blessing tends towards life. So, wilderness good, farming good, even whole towns full of houses and factories good, but taking the whole lot until there's nothing left for anyone else and the land can't renew itself, bad? Fracking and tar sands and cutting down the rainforest to grow palm groves for biodiesel, bad? Wars caused by displacing people from their traditional homes so we can have it for beef ranches to make the mega burgers that give us heart disease, bad? Free-range chickens in the woodland, good? Vast, stinking, closed barns of chickens crammed into wire cages under artificial light their whole life long, bad? I'd have said that was self-evident, says Jesus.